Hey, what's happening, my friends? Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a quick recap video on the main fights of UFC 259. Got some thoughts. Let's get into these fights and the results. First, let's start with Thiago Santos versus Alexander Rakic. Rakic with the win. Thiago Santos just didn't look the same to me. He looked considerably slower, more labored. The speed wasn't there. The explosiveness. I think the knee injuries and the surgeries definitely have altered Thiago Santos as a fighter. Now, some of him not looking so great definitely had to do with Alexander Rakic, but overall, again, Santos didn't look the same. Rakic coasted to a unanimous decision, pretty systematic, outpointed Thiago on the feet, used his range and reach. Good win for Rakic. Moving on to Islam Makhachev versus Drew Dober. This fight pretty much played out exactly how I thought. It was pretty black and white. Islam had to get the fight to the mat, and Drew Dober had to keep it on the feet. Islam indeed got the fight to the mat, and he dominated Drew Dober. Just dominating grappling and wrestling. No surprise what happened in this fight. Drew Dober did have a shot to win, but only if he kept it on the feet. The submission was interesting. Almost looked like a Von Flue choke. It looked like Islam crushed Dober's windpipe, an air choke. Part of that had to do with Drew Dober just being exhausted, tired. Great win for Islam Makhachev because Drew Dober is a dangerous opponent. Systematic domination. Moving on to Peorian versus Aljamain Sterling. This fight was competitive early on. Then it looked like Peorian just started taking over the fight. Clearly he was winning. Aljamain was falling all over the place, gassing out. Peorian's defense on the feet, his technical striking, just impeccable. He was biding his time, letting Aljamain burn himself out, covering up well, slipping, blocking, and it looked like his game plan was to turn it up in the championship rounds. His game plan was flawless, definitely was en route to beat Aljamain Sterling cleanly, but he made the mistake in the heat of battle, throwing a knee to Aljamain's head when he was still down on the mat. After some confusing moments, the doctor and the ref called the fight off. Aljamain Sterling, the new champ, at 135 via disqualification. Not the way you want to win a belt. He's getting a lot of heat online. Some people are calling him a great actor. I'm not going to debate if he hammed it up a bit, but the knee did look hard. These guys have to rematch. I personally don't see Aljamain as the champion. Peorian was definitely winning that fight pretty handily. So yeah, looking forward to the rematch, guys. Amanda Nunes versus Megan Anderson. Total squash match. Megan had nothing for Nunes. She looked stiff, she looked nervous, too slow. Nunes just cracked her, stunned her early on. The fight goes to the mat. Nunes systematic with the submission. Nasty combination of a triangle and an armbar. Amanda Nunes, without question, is the greatest female combatant of all time. I remember there being debate even after the Cyborg fight. People were actually still calling Chris Cyborg the greatest of all time. And it just boggles the mind. How can you logically say that? Amanda Nunes is the GWOAT. G-W-O-A-T. Who's gonna stop this woman? Who's gonna give her competition? The only female fighter out there talented enough to give her competition in a fight is Valentina Shevchenko. Another all-time great in the women's division. I would love to see a third fight. Shevchenko arguably won one of their fights. And it's just incredible she didn't get stopped by Nunes in 2 fights and made it competitive. Okay guys, time to talk about the main event. Jan Blachowicz versus Israel Adesanya. Damn, I gotta say guys, great fight, super competitive. Izzy really showed out. He didn't get the W, but valiant performance. He definitely was outsized, out-muscled by Jan, but it wasn't like too much of a factor. Of course, when the fight hit the mat, Jan used his weight, size, and of course technique, because remember, Jan is a black belt in BJJ, so a lot of that control didn't necessarily have to do with his size and strength, but with his technique. But size and strength, they did play a factor, no mistake. I think Izzy could have won that fight. He might have been en route to win the fight if he didn't get taken down. Mega props and respect to Jan. Even though he was slower than Izzy, I felt like his defense was great. I felt like he was patient. He did so well against a striking killer, Israel Adesanya. Very impressed with Jan Blachowicz. And again, really impressed with Izzy. Wasn't a squash match by any means. Arasanyan definitely proved he can hang with the light heavyweights. He took some big shots from Jan. The majority of those he rolled with, which took a lot of pops out of those punches. Arasanyan was making me super nervous, getting in range of Jan Blachowicz's shots. He was like right in the pocket with him, and I felt like he was playing with fire. Big time gamble. But when he fought on the outside, obviously it was a lot safer for him. I thought it was a great fight and a great chess match. For now, maybe Izzy should stick to middleweight, dominate there more, and then later on when he bulks up properly, move up to light heavyweight. Props to both competitors again. Fan of both guys. Love the respect after the fight. Both of these guys just gained a ton of more respect from me and the MMA community. Anyway guys, that's going to wrap up this short recap video. One more little quick thought on Dominick Cruz. Man, I think Dominick Cruz should probably retire. I know he got the win, but to me he looked considerably slower. Dom doesn't look like the same fighter. I'm not hating on him. It just sucks to see great fighters and legends slow down and not perform and win how they should. But guys, let me know in the comment section what you thought about these fights. Did you enjoy them? What did you think of the results, the performances? If this is your first time at the channel and you enjoyed the segment, consider hitting that sub button. Like and share helps the channel grow. You guys are the best. And until next time, my friends, you all take care.